Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending. My name is Tim McManus. I have with me Leslie Ransley and Ed Fletcher from our team. Leslie's the product manager of our SureShip application. Ed is the lead developer and the guy that bails me out when I get tough questions. Jason Whitman, Vice President of the Sun User Group, is going to give us a little update toward the end. And in this virtual world, I guess we're in a conference room here. The only thing is we don't have little giveaways for everyone. I've got about 200 pounds of them downstairs that we had bought for this, and now there's no one to give them to. So if you're interested in some swag, you can chat Leslie, and we'll get you some via the USPS or UPS. All right, so we'll get started. Topic is SureShip, our integration with Infor CloudSuite Sightline. AIT, we're a channel partner. We've been working with the application since 1993. We've been, I personally am Simon 2.4 or 2.3. And most of the team that we have here has been working with it for a while. We've done a lot of implementations, and one of the things that we have historically done is gone in there and customer says, how do we hook up to integration to our shipping carriers? And typically that's, they've got WorldShip out there, FedEx Ship Manager, something, and we do some type of modification, ODBC connection. Sometimes they're just doing stuff manually. And it's happened enough that we thought, let's try and do something that's actually permanent, installable, and that we, repeatable, that we don't have to charge professional services every time we do this. And that's kind of where the idea came from. Originally, we were just thinking about just integration, and that has built out into a lot of other areas with the shipping process. And the difference now with SureShip, it's built in Mongoose. So the shipping console looks like a Sightline CloudSuite form. You've got your scale, your printer hooked up to it. You pack your boxes. You do your shipping labels. You get your tracking numbers, all that. You press your button. You ship your goods all from within the same application. So there are some other shipping applications out there, but it's really kind of a two app process. You go into one place and do this, and then go back and do something in the others. And this is, this is what we decided to build, is let's bring it into the Mongoose environment. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you through a little bit of the functionality here, just walk you through it, and then we're going to actually go in and see a couple of pieces. Again, direct API integration with shipping carriers. We've got all the parcel carriers. We've got a number of LTLs. And we're expanding that. We're getting into some consolidators, freight consolidators as well. The pick, pack, and ship, because that has been part of the shipping process, pick, pack, and ship has been in there, and it's a controversial module a little bit. Some people are familiar with it. They're using pieces of it. And what we found is it was a little bit difficult sometimes, or restrictive in how you wanted to do your shipping process. So we've really created an alternate universe, pick, pack, and ship. We didn't modify or overwrite that, but you'll see a lot of things that look like pick, pack, and ship in here. But it's what we hope a little more flexible and usable. You can do rate shopping from customer service or the or the shipping department themselves if you give them that permission. And we also have the ability to do chargebacks on freight. So if you want to charge your customer, 10% of your cost or something, you can do that. And again, 100% written in Mongoose. Here are just a short sample of some of the carriers that we support here. We have partnered with a company called Easy Post that has, I think they're up to about 120 different carriers right now. And the good thing about them is a lot of their carriers are actually from international originations. So, Canada Post or from the UK or France, there's some different characteristics there that these guys support, and ergo we support. One of the things that we recognized was, instead of just using pick, pack, and ship, and pick, pack, and ship can ship from orders, but we wanted to be able to allow customers to quickly ship from custom orders, also from transfer orders, if you're using the service modules from SROs, and you can use pick, pack, and ship with that as well. And the alternate universe pick, pack, ship we have allows you to create pick lists from all of those sources: custom orders, transfer orders, and service orders. Like I mentioned, rate shopping. This can be done from the shipping console or customer service, and you have the ability to go in and shop for a specific carrier, UPS, or maybe all your parcel carriers, all your freight carriers. Go out there and basically get your information. Go ahead and select one, and that will change the ship for you. On the shipping console, we support pallets, so multi-level packing. If you've got pallets, including serial numbers. Also, if some of our customers have, they're going to go out and they need 30 boxes that they're going to do, and they don't want to just add a box and add a box. You can do bulk package creation as well. Documentation and paperwork. In the process, we've got it set up so that you can print all of your paperwork and define what that is at the point of shipping in the console. That is definable as a default or by a customer as well, so that you can have individual documents by customer if they require it. As well, we can do the shipping labels and non-shipping labels, like the UCC labels, and that again is defaulted or set up by on a customer by customer basis. The one really cool thing that, or we get feedback, it's a really cool thing, is, I'm in the middle of this thing and I've just shipped this, I've packed this, I've created my labels, and, the customer canceled or changed something. And we've got the ability to undo virtually at any level. If you want to unpack something, if you want to, cancel a label, cancel all of the labels, unship. Once an entire bill of lading is shipped, we have the ability to completely unship that, or choose from, pieces of that. Maybe 100 were supposed to go out and 99 actually shipped. We can do it from here as well. And the other thing is, at the end of the day, maybe what I want to do is, print all my labels. I don't want to do the actual shipping transaction until I know that box is left. We've got the ability to do end of day shipping, and this end of day shipping is different than, say, the UPS end of day process, where that's transferring the tracking numbers and information to UPS. We don't do that. We don't need to do that because our communication is happening in real time. This end of day is actually where you've taken all the shipments that you have, the truck leaves, and you can go ahead and press a button and say, okay, the UPS truck left. I'm going to ship all of those materials out of the system. If we're doing international, we support freight forwarder and third-party addresses. I've mentioned this, but our pick, pack, and ship workbench includes transfer orders and service orders. And we also have, if you're familiar with pick, pack, and ship, we have consolidated that. The pick workbench is line by line. Some of our customers have, 300 lines on an order, and they want to use pick, pack, and ship, but it's a little bit unwieldy. You go in there. Our order pick console is at the order level that gives you summary information about what you can and can't ship. Another thing, back to the kind of easy button, is after the fact, if we wanted to say a couple different shipments, we wanted to merge them, consolidate them, update them before we've done the shipping, we've got utilities that allow you to do that. If you are using the pick, pack, and ship, and you have that pick confirmation step that can either be done in the CSI application or in Factory Track, we have that built out for SureShip as well. And the other thing we have is, imagine you've got the World Ship computer there, and it's Christmas time, and you're sending out little Christmas gifts to to customers or things like that. You don't necessarily want to send them on a custom order and ship them. We've got the ability to do miscellaneous shipments where you can just, take a box, put stuff in it, weigh it, and create tracking number. And this all is kept, the history of this in the audit for shipping. Customer service gets immediate feedback. The minute you ship something on the customer order, it's updated. The customers themselves will get notified via email, depending on your setup, your preferences, using document or customer document profile. You can do the rate shopping at customer service as well. Again, in this particular case, all parcel. I want to change this to UPS ground. I'll select that. It'll change the order and propagate down to the bill of lading. I mentioned in terms of freight chargeback management, we have that as well, where you can set up rules to charge your customers. It could be a flat rate, it could be promotional stuff with a date range, things like that. One of the other things with Sightline, CloudSuite, you get one customer shipping account per ship to, and that's just not typically always the case with customers. They may have a FedEx account, a UPS account, and they may have one that they use by default, but they'll call up and say, you know what, this needs to ship overnight, and I want you to use my UPS account for that. We have the ability to manage that as well. We've built that extended hazmat functionality a lot of times on the actual paperwork, shipping paperwork, in particular internationally as well. You've got to get a little more detailed besides, this is a hazardous item in terms of classes and things like that. I'm going to actually talk about the roadmap in a second, or a few seconds. What I wanted to do is actually kind of get in the application and show you some of what I just talked about. So this is our shipping console. And this is, shipment really starts kind of when the customer places the order, right? That's where it originates. But for today, I'm going to start at the shipping console, assuming some orders have been in there. We have the ability to ship again from custom orders. If you're using pick, pack, and ship, transfer orders, service orders, or that quick ship, I'm going to choose a custom order. And I'm going to, let's say I've got a scanner here and scan this in. Here's my order. I'll see the items that I need to ship. I can change quantities at this point. I could change stock locations. If it was lot tracked, I could manage that. If it's serial tracked, I can manage that here as well. Same as really kind of what the shipping looks like. I can select an individual line to ship, or I can select everything and then go ahead and create shipment. I also have the ability here to do this by customer range as well. So if I'm not just looking for an order, I want to, hey, what do I have that's out here that needs to go to the customer for this, these due dates? I can get everything and then create a shipment based on that. And if I do that shipment based on that, that would consolidate all of those customer orders into the single shipment. Once I've created the shipment, it takes me to the main part of the shipping console, where down in the bottom right-hand corner, I have the items that I need to ship. And up here, I've got my boxes or packages. And and this is going to use your package master. So I can type in a box here, or in this particular case, I know I need 3. So I can just bulk create 3 boxes here, add them, and notice the dimensions. That's just picking up from the package master, the tear weight as well. And at this point, I want to start putting something in a box. I got a number of ways to do that. I can, let's say I've got each individual item labeled with a barcode. I can go ahead and just start to scan that here. And as I scan that, what that's going to do is that's going to add to this box a quantity of 1. And if I scan it again, it's going to add another quantity, so forth and so on. That's really kind of our supermarket scanning. Let's say that I wanted to go ahead and scan it, but I still wanted to choose the quantity. I can go ahead and prompt for quantity and go ahead and say I'm going to do 4 here, and that'll finish packing the box. Now, if you notice, the weight is incrementing here. So it is looking at the item weight and the tear weight from the packages. But if you've got a scale hooked up to this, you just simply put that box on there and hit get weight, and that's going to actually give you the exact weight of the box there. So I've got 1 box packed. Another way that I can go ahead and pack something is I can just take this and drag and drop this into a package. And that is going to take the entire quantity. And notice as I'm packing these are turning green, and my count of what's packed and what needs to be packed is getting updated. And let's go to my last. If I don't even want to drag and drop, I can just hit a box and I can go ahead and double click it, and that'll pack it into the box as well. If I wanted to, I could just pick a box here and I could say add all items. It'll put all items in the box. Let's say you're a customer that, I don't really care about tracking too much what's in the box. I know I got a bunch of parts here and it's going to take 3 boxes. You can set up those 3 boxes and then go ahead and add that and split the items evenly. And it's sort of like lot tracking with back flushing. You don't really know what, the system's going to tell you one thing, but if you didn't want to actually put individual things in the boxes, you could do that as well. Now, my last item here, if you notice here, this is a little checkbox called self-contained. And I'm going to explain that. I recently got a new monitor from Amazon. It was a LG monitor. And when it showed up here, it actually was in the LG package. So they didn't, nobody took that part and put it into a different package for me. It's just what they did. They slapped a label on it and shipped it. So if you've got parts like that, and I went out to the item master, we go to our SureShip tab. You can define a part as self-contained, and you can give it some parameters in terms of, one of these will fit into, that's my package type. If maybe you had packs, I could have, quantity 4 go into a different package type. So you've got some choices there. And if that's self-contained, then I'm going to go back to the console here. This is self-contained. There's a quantity of 4. It gets 1 per box. So I don't have to go through and set up packages. I just go ahead and double click this, and that is going to add those packages to my shipment and put each one in the box that that's defined in the self-contained. Now I am ready to go. I'll hop back to the items real quick and just say, if you were doing hazardous material, you just toggle this on and you can put all that information there as well. So now we're all set up here, ready to go. I've chosen my carrier. If I wanted to go out and do some rate shopping here, I can go out and do that. I can go to any particular carrier, my parcel carriers. But I think I'm good with this. And what I'd like to do is just print the shipping labels. So all I have to do is hit the button that says print the shipping labels. And what this is doing now is this is going out to the carrier directly via API. And it's communicating, different packages, the address, all that. It's using the carrier account that you give it, and I'll explain a little bit more of how that gets assigned. So it's assigned these tracking numbers here, and it is conversely, it's starting to fire up my Zebra printer here. I'm printing all my labels, and I'm about ready to go. The next thing I have to do is just go ahead and print my docs and ship the orders. If I wanted to relieve Sightline of the inventory right now, if I do that, it's going to print the following documents here. We can see what's going to print, and again, the all the documents that print and all the options and all of that are set up as defaults or customer defaults, and they can be unique to individual customers as well. If I had labels that I was going to print here as well, this is where this would be defined, and that would print when I print my documents. But I don't want to actually ship this yet because, again, it's 9 o'clock in the morning and the UPS truck's going to leave at 3 or 4, whenever it does. If I want to, I can just have everything ready, and I go out to my bulk ship utility, and I want to say for my UPS truck, where do you go? UPS. Or my carrier UPS. Just get rid of that. And this is going to have all the UPS shipments that are out there. All I have to do is select them and process this, and this is going to do my actual Sightline shipping transactions, the material transaction, cost of goods, and set it up for invoicing. All right, so I've got my packages, got my labels, I'm all good. Let's take a look at the actual shipment here. I go out to our bill of lading, and here I've got information. I've got my my freight charges here. If I wanted to look at the packages that I've created, I can see what is in each box. If I did use a pallet, I'd see, bill of lading 51, pallet number, whatever, and these packages under the pallet, and those items in those packages. So it'll go down into multi-level. If I am using a freight forwarder for international, you can define that here as well as third-party addresses. We'll go back to the charges. If you look at that $153, that is the cost of this. This is what, in this case, UPS has told me, this is what the shipment costs. Is this what I want to charge the customer? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to go out to the customer order and take a look at my shipping. First of all, the minute I ship that order, all those tracking numbers are assigned. I can see what bill of lading that's on, and I can actually, if I want, I can go back to the bill of lading and see what the deal is with that. And if I go here to my shipping rates, again, in customer service, kind of circling back, if I wanted to do the rate shopping here in, ahead of time, I can do that. I'll set a ship to, and let's just say that, my my shipping costs were, I don't know, $30 for a ground or something like that. You can set that. That'll update the actual shipping cost here, okay? But depending on the rules that we have, here's our freight rules. If I look at the freight rules here and go to the details, this allows me to have individual rules and multiple rules per customer or per customer group, customer types, that says I want to take that freight based on the freight cost. I want to add up a percentage or dollar amount. In this particular case, I just want to add 10% to my cost, which is my negotiated rate. Maybe I want to add it to my published rate. Or if I wanted to do it based on the order value or the shipment value. Also, it's, a lot of customers say, anything that goes UPS ground gets, is a $10 shipment. Or it could be, if it goes UPS ground, it's free. And you can set up these rules based on not only customer, but carrier defaults as well. So I've determined it's going to be, 10% of that. And if I go back to the order and look at this, that's about my $150 plus 10%. But let's say that originally I quoted them, it was going to be, $30 or something. And the reason it's 150 is because I had to ship this thing overnight. And I had to ship it overnight because production was late, right? So it's on us. Well, I actually don't, I told them it would be, $30 plus 10%, so $33. I don't want to charge them 150. Got the ability here is once I've quoted freight is to lock the freight so that no matter what happens in shipping, it's not going to apply that rule then. It's going to apply it when I actually do the rate quoting. Customer account. So in this particular case, the shipment went prepay and add, and it used AIT's shipping account. But if I did want to use the customer account, here we've got the ability to have multiple shipping accounts per customer. So, use my FedEx account or use my UPS account, or, it's going to be freight. Here's my ODFL account for freight. You can have a default up there so that when the customer order gets created, it always defaults to that as well. Now, the other thing, if you're doing international shipments, it's not uncommon to have the situation where you'll go ahead and pay the freight, but the customer is going to be on the hook for their, their landed costs of brokerage and duty costs. So you have the ability to actually change that and split the cost on freight. If you are any of your shipping has certain aspects to it, for postal, certified mail, or if there's, it's alcohol, dry ice, signature required. In freight, maybe there's a lift gate, things like that. Certain carriers, SDs is one of them, has their own set of language for the API, so we've got that. And then in terms of bill to transportation, the freight forwarder, the third party, the broker, you can set that up. So getting back to our shipment, that's how the console works. That's how we do the shipment. Again, if I had custom orders, or if I had transfer orders, I could go ship transfer orders directly. Same with the service orders. And on service orders, I can ship either the line, so the unit itself, the material for repairs and such, or both. And that will create shipment exactly the same way. But let's say that I actually wanted to use the pick list here. Go out and I'm going to go here to look at our pick workbench. And if you notice, if any of you are pick, pack, and ship users are familiar with that, this looks pretty familiar. And it's going to go out and line by line look at all your open orders, and give you some information here about whether it's ready to ship, where it's going. If I wanted to group these by carrier, by customer, I can do that as well. This actually has, we are paying attention to the ship early, ship partial flags in that are on the CSI order form or customers in order form. I don't believe that anything else does. Now, the other thing about this is standard pick, pack, and ship does custom orders only. If you wanted to do your shipping of transfer orders, and we've got a number of customers that that will go out, and it wouldn't be a demo without one of those, would it? Let's see here. We have a number of customers that do transfer orders where they're actually going out and building out, the other plant calls on Monday, they call on Wednesday. So they create a transfer order. They may be adding to it, or some customers will create new transfer orders, or the planning system will generate transfer orders. So you've got the ability here to go out and consolidate those and pick them all at once. Now, for customers that do not like the line by line, we've got the order pick console. The order pick console serves the same purpose, mainly to show me what I need to ship here. I can put in some dates, start and end dates, some of that, selection about quantity, whether the quantity is available and things like that. But here, instead of line by line, what I'm seeing here is order by order. So I'm getting an order summary, but I am getting some of the detail from what's underneath that order header. Over here, I've got the total number of pieces, how many are remaining if it was a back order, how many are ready, the value here, if you empower your shipping department to make sure they ship the high value orders, and that's permissions based. My total lines and how many are ready. And if you look at this first one, I've got 3 lines, 1 line's ready. I've got 5 I need to ship, only 4 are available. In this case, 101 need to ship, 17 are available. So this is going to come over here and make this partial, right? This status here is not on the order, it's on this console, but this is something I can ship partially. If I go down here and look at a ready, I've got 101. I could ship everything. It's all 5 by 5 here. I can go ahead and ship that. Now, if I only wanted to look at what's ready, when I go in and filter this, I get to choose, show me only the readies, or ready and partial, or maybe just for kicks, I want to see the not ready ones as well. But you have the ability here, and again, I can group by ship via customer, things like that, and then go ahead and just select some of these. If I wanted to actually take a look at the detail on this, I click on the lines, and this I can actually go and see the lines that are in there. If the line is cross-referenced to a job and you haven't completed that job, this actually will go out at the upper level, kind of level 1 of the job, and give you just a quick idea of what maybe the materials are out there, some packing material or something, and that's coming in. So I want to go ahead and start to get this staged. Also, if I selected a number of these or any one of them, and I go out to inventory, hold on a second, click that off, a couple of these, and go out to inventory. That's interesting. This should show me, should have shown me all of the items that are on the lines of the orders I selected, including where the where the inventory is. If I wanted to change locations at this point, I could. And also, if I wanted to assign serial numbers here, you can do it through the normal assigner. You can actually just scan and enter serial numbers as well. So I'm going to go and just take this order and let's say this one, and go ahead and generate my pick list. Okay. Like I said, it wouldn't be a demo without a couple of those. And this basically is going to print my pick list. If I had orders consolidated, it would print a consolidated pick list. And then when I go back over to the shipping console, I would be able to just scan in my pick list here and see my shipments, or see the items that need to be shipped. Now, the last thing on the ways that we can ship, I mentioned the quick ship here. Go in here, and this is basically just an untethered shipment that is going to use the APIs, create the labels, do that. If I create a new shipment here, I can go in and the address here, if I want to just type an address, I can do that. But maybe what I'm doing is I'm sending a sample to a customer, and I don't want it to go through the system. So you can borrow the customer address. Maybe that customer, let's go to customer 25 here. Maybe that customer wants me to use their FedEx account on this. We can do that as well. I will pick a ship via, and this package type. It does need to be in a box. And then here, what I can do is I can type in items if I want, or if I decided to, I actually do want to ship one of these, but I don't want to put it in the system. You can do that as well. This will not create a material transaction though. Everything that happens here is just going to be creating the shipment side of it, but we do have the ability here to print the same documents. If it was going internationally, freight forwarders, third party, and things like that. Speaking of international, one quick thing, I'm going to go back to the SureShip console here and look at value. If I were to be shipping, say, samples overseas. And, on that custom order, it's a $0 value, right? Well, and, customs actually needs a real value or insurance. You've got the ability here to alter that, to have kind of, gift shipments that actually have value for customers. All right, we are getting close. Leslie, how much how much time do we have left? Or
we're going to save the last 10 minutes for Jason.
Okay, which means we have 3 minutes left. Okay.
Maybe a few more minutes and some questions.
Okay. So that is the quick whirlwind tour. I haven't paid too much to the chats, but I did see something about versions, and one of the big questions we're getting version wise is, what are we doing for version 10? And I wanted to just talk a little bit about what we're doing roadmap wise. Actually, the additional carriers that's done, the CSI 10 for multi-tenant SaaS. We actually, this is working for 10 if you're on-prem, but for multi-tenant SaaS, there's additional things that need to be done, and we're going to roll that out in a couple phases. First thing is just going to be the integration pack with all the carriers and the setup, including the quick ship and things like that. The pick, pack, and ship part of it is going to come a little bit later. Another thing we're doing is, if you are doing heavy international shipments, being able to actually, like right now, you've got to go to maybe FedEx or something and get the ITN number. We're building out the API to do that to the government. We are just a couple other little things about combining custom orders and transfer orders on shipments. We are looking at also doing multi-order truckloads for milk runs, load transportation management, and we are getting into just, on the picking side, doing some, zone picking, some wave picking, and sequence picking. So this is kind of what we're looking. This is, Q4, and by the end of the year, we're looking at the first rollout for multi-tenant SaaS. The other pieces, phase 2 are going to come out there, and then, in terms of our multi-destination and truck loading weight cubes, we're looking out to the end of Q3. And I think we are at our stopping point here. I think we should probably wrap it up. Thank you all very, very much for joining. We'll probably send a follow-up thank you. I will post the recording out on the website, and have a great week.